The sun was just beginning to rise over a quiet residential development in Arizona. A landscaping crew had arrived early to beat the afternoon heat. As one worker rode a zero-turn mower along a sloped embankment near the curb, he leaned to one side to avoid a low-hanging branch. In that instant, the mower tipped. With no roll bar deployed and no seatbelt fastened, the machine pinned him beneath its weight. By the time his crewmates noticed he hadn't completed his section, it was too late. The worker died from internal injuries. The incident made headlines locally but barely registered elsewhere. Yet this story, or one like it, plays out again and again across regions. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, landscaping and grounds maintenance consistently ranks among the top 10 most dangerous occupations, with fatality rates nearly 6 times the national average. The work is often perceived as simple, seasonal, or secondary, but the hazards are anything but. Let's take a closer look at what to watch for when it comes to landscaping and groundskeeping, and how stronger safety observations can turn routine tasks into life-saving moments. Earlier that same summer in Quebec, a municipal worker clearing brush alongside a highway was struck in the head by a chunk of debris ejected from a co-worker's trimmer nearly 30 feet away. The injured worker was wearing eye protection, but not a hard hat. The object struck his temple and caused a skull fracture. The investigation found that the crew had no designated spacing policy for string trimmer operation, and no site-specific hazard review had been conducted that day. It was a job they'd done many times before. Repetition is a hidden threat in this line of work. The tasks, mowing, trimming, lifting, watering, hauling, seem simple, familiar, safe, but it's in that familiarity that risk often hides. In New Zealand, a part-time groundskeeper working alone at a large estate was found unconscious near a hedge line with heat stroke and severe dehydration. There were no formal check-in procedures for lone workers, and his mobile phone had no signal in the area. He was discovered nearly 2 hours after collapse by a courier driver making a delivery. Extreme temperatures are not just a discomfort in landscaping, they're a proven killer. In 2022, OSHA reported 34 heat-related worker deaths in the US, and landscaping workers were overrepresented. Add in humidity, poor hydration practices, and tight production schedules, and it becomes a perfect storm for heat exhaustion or worse. Then there's the wildlife factor. In suburban Atlanta, a landscaping crew encountered a wasp nest disturbed during hedge trimming. One worker, allergic and unaware of the nest, was stung multiple times and went into anaphylactic shock. The crew had no EpiPen on site and had to wait for EMS to arrive. The worker survived, but with lasting neurological symptoms due to prolonged oxygen deprivation. Hazard identification isn't just about equipment, it's about environment. In Australia, a university groundskeeper performing routine weeding duties was bitten by a redback spider while reaching into a bush. His gloves were worn thin and had holes in the fingertips. Despite mild symptoms at first, he was hospitalized within 24 hours. A safety observation might have flagged the need for equipment replacement, but no one had checked. Equipment maintenance and PPE quality are recurring concerns. In the UK, a council maintenance team was cited after a worker suffered severe lacerations to his leg when a push mower's protective skirt came loose mid-operation. The mower had been flagged for service the week before, but the note was missed in a shared logbook. A simple observation, one pair of eyes spotting a damaged guard, could have stopped the job before injury. These aren't one-off stories. They reflect patterns of lack of pre-planning. In Canada, injury data shows that landscaping and groundskeeping workers report over 1,300 lost-time injuries per year, a number likely underreported due to the seasonal and subcontract nature of the work. Many of these injuries come from being struck by flying debris, muscle strain from lifting heavy equipment, slipping and falling on wet or uneven terrain, coming into contact with sharp or powered tools, and suffering from heat exhaustion and sunstroke. But not every observation is about something going wrong. Some are about what went right. In Norway, a landscaping contractor implemented a daily 5-minute tailgate meeting where workers shared a quick safety tip or something they noticed the day before. Within 3 months, the crew reported a 40% drop in minor first aid incidents, and several near misses were prevented because someone felt empowered to speak up. In California, a golf course grounds team introduced a buddy check system. Each worker visually scanned their partner's PPE and tools before starting. One morning, a groundskeeper noticed his partner's string trimmer had a cracked safety guard. They pulled it from use. That guard likely stopped a piece of gravel from launching backward later that week. Observation isn't about fault, it's about foresight. But for foresight to exist, The crew must be trained to look and to speak. Psychological safety matters. In parts of Southeast Asia, where landscaping crews are often migrant workers, a study found that over 60% of workers felt uncomfortable raising safety concerns due to language barriers or fear of job loss. Addressing this means not just translating documents, but building a culture of inclusion, respect, and shared ownership of safety. There's also the issue of fatigue. Long hours, early starts, repetitive motion, these add up. In British Columbia, a groundskeeper operating a ride-on mower fell asleep mid-shift, veering off a bike path and damaging a pedestrian fence. No one was injured this time. The worker had been pulling double shifts to catch up on contract delays. The crew supervisor had noticed signs of fatigue the day before but didn't act. Observation is also about seeing the things people don't say out loud. And it's not just human hazards. Electrical lines, underground irrigation, pesticide exposure, and noise levels from tools like blowers and chainsaws all present serious risks. Without proper site scans, pre-job talks, and hazard assessments, those risks stay hidden in plain sight. In Texas, a landscaper was electrocuted when a pole trimmer contacted a low-hanging residential service line. The crew assumed the line was de-energized. There was no visual signage, and no verification call was made. The worker was 23 years old. Landscaping should not be a rite of passage where risk is normalized. It should be a job where safety is part of the task, not a separate checklist. So what can you watch for? You might notice equipment with missing guards or frayed cables. You might spot workers showing signs of heat stress or fatigue. Maybe spacing between crews using trimmers or blowers is inconsistent. Perhaps you'll see PPE that's worn past its usable life, or that lone workers have no check-in procedures. Look out for overloaded trailers, unsecured tools, or wildlife nests in work zones. Even a mower being used on steep slopes without roll protection or a missing first aid kit can be early signs of bigger risks. Each of these is a moment for intervention, a chance to observe, speak up, and prevent. Let's also acknowledge the unseen hazard, the mindset of, it's just yard work. That mindset minimizes risk. It tells people they're overreacting. But every major incident you just heard about happened in a task someone thought was routine. And let's not forget seasonal stress. In spring, demand spikes. Teams rush to catch up on contracts, clear backlogs, and meet appearance deadlines. In that rush, safety corners are cut. One observer stepping in at the right time can change that. Here's something worth watching for. Someone doing something right. Catch a teammate setting cones correctly, hydrating mid-shift, or stopping to double-check a tool. Recognize it. Share it. Those are acts of safety too. In the end, safety observations aren't just about stopping hazards. They're about spotting moments of care, caution, and responsibility, and amplifying them. So the next time you pass by a landscaping crew, whether they're trimming a golf course, clearing snow in winter, or mulching beds at a business park, look closer. Watch for the heat, the noise, the pace, and the potential. Say something when something feels off. Listen when someone speaks up, and share the stories that others can learn from. Because a good day in landscaping isn't just about a perfect lawn. It's about getting everyone home, healthy, and whole. Thanks for watching, and welcome to the Safety Smart HQ community. If you've seen a close call, a smart save, or a safety misstep in landscaping or groundskeeping, drop it in the comments. You never know who your story might help. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, where we'll shift focus to janitorial and custodial work, another field where silent risks can have loud consequences. Stay sharp out there.